joined. Anyone else is waiting? I don't think so. Hope the chat session is over among you. Chatலாம் முடிஞ்சிருச்சா? Shall we proceed with the class? Okay. Yes. We'll have a small revision. Yes. Good morning. Good morning. We'll have a small revision. Yes. Can anyone tell me what is a software? In your own words. You can put in your own words. Just I want to know what you have understood. Shall I point out someone? Yes, Madhushri. You wanted to. Hello. Yes. Or I'll just ask by register number. Whom shall I ask? Okay. Harshini, your face comes first. Yes, Shabir, I think you can stop your chat messages. Harshini is here. Harshini is not here. Mohammad Mabrook. Okay, systematic application. I got an answer. Okay, what is software engineering? Okay, Harshini, no problem. Anyone tell me what is software engineering? You can use your mic and talk out. No problem. Who can do that? No one. Who's that? Vignesh. Can you tell me what is software engineering? What you have understood about software engineering? No answer from anyone. Software engineering, systematic engineering approaches to the development. Okay. Okay. Development approaches to development of software. Good. Okay. So software engineering, it is the set of various approaches involved in the development of a product. So it is a field of engineering for designing and writing programs, as said by Nalini. Yeah, yes. Good. Okay. So we have seen two types of softwares, right? Can you name the two types of softwares that we have seen? Two basic types of software products. We all know that the software engineering results with a product, that is the software. There are two basic types. Yes, that is generic. I think spelling mistake. Yes, good. Generic and custom. Good. Good, Hariram. Yes. Yes, Sundar. Yes. Right. Yes. So I'll just start continuing with the next topic. start the presentation. Dear students, is the screen visible? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So last class we saw the basic activities, the set of activities, the generic activities in all the software processes. The basic activities involved are specification, development, validation, and evolution. So these are the basic steps, generic steps in all the software engineering product developer site. So these are the generic activities in software process. So what is a software process model? So the software process model, we have seen 4 generic activities which are the basic ones without which a software cannot be developed in the industry. And for performing the 4 basic activities, there is a specific model which the companies can follow. Okay, so for each of the activities, that is the 4 basic activities in software process, are going to follow a model. Okay, model, and based on this model, each of the activity is going to be performed. So for example, your CAT exam is being carried out or is conducted. So what is the process as a student in each semester? What is the process? You have to attend the class, you have to score enough attendance, then you will get the eligibility to attend the test. Yes, and you have to, after writing the CAT test, you have to take up the end semester test. If you are absent for anything, you will be taking a substitute. So these are the 5 activities that you are going to do. But for each activity, there is a model. So attendance, first comes the attendance. You have to attend the class. So what is the model? You have to sit in the class for the 50 minutes in your regular mode. You should be, your attendance percentage should be more than 75%. Similarly, for CAT 1 exam, you have to take up a test for 50 marks. You have to write the test for 1.5 hours. So this is the model. Okay, writing for the test paper model is 50 marks, 1.5 hours. You will be having part A, part B, part C questions. Part A will be only 2 marks, right? So this is a model. So test is one activity to be carried out, and this test is based on a model based on certain factors like duration, mark, setup, etc. Similarly, the software process activities, the 4 activities, each of them follow a model. Okay, so they have something known as software process model. So it is a simplified representation of a software process presented from a specific perspective. So specific perspective is based on what actually is being done in the particular activity or process. A model is being defined. So examples of process perspectives are the workflow perspective. So the sequence in which the activities are to be performed. Second one is data flow perspective. This is the information flow, how the input is given and how the output is delivered. Okay. Am I audible? So workflow is the sequence of activities, whereas the data flow is to which activity input is given, from which activity the output is retrieved, okay, and is there any other transfer of information between the other existing activities, all these, and role and action perspective, like who has to do which activity and what has to be done by the particular person, the roles and responsibilities. Okay, these all become part of the process perspectives. So there are generic process models which take care of this workflow, data flow, role, and action. So the basic models, okay, are your waterfall model, iterative development, and component based software engineering. These are the very basic models that are present. As per your syllabus, you will be going in depth with the waterfall model. I think this model you would have already studied in system analysis and design, but anyway, I'll be refreshing this concept. Yes, you have learned this waterfall model in system analysis design. Okay. Oh, you didn't have that subject. Okay, fine. Anyway, I'll explain it. So there are basic models called waterfall, iterative, and component-based software engineering. So the models that are used for software process. So what are the various software engineering methods? We saw software process. Now what are the various software engineering methods? They are structured approaches to software development, which include various system models, notations, diagrams, rules, and also design advice along with the process guidance. So the model descriptions. What are these model descriptions? They are descriptions of graphical models which should be produced. Okay, and rules, they are nothing but the constraints applied to the various system models. System models represent the software, okay, and its processes involved in the development of the software. Then recommendations, so it is the advice on good design practice. So software engineering, it is going to support this development of software by providing model descriptions, uh, keeping some constraints, giving some advice on the good design practice that need to be followed while defining the different modules and the output screens, and also the process guidance, like what are the activities to be followed. So the structured approach to software development is software engineering method. So it provides all these guidelines for the software process. So having these engineering methods in mind, the models are designed. So the models are the basic structures which are provided, and based on these structures or the models, the different software companies proceed their activities. Okay, the software, it has got dual role. So the software, it is a product, it delivers a computing facility, okay, to the users. It produces, manages something, it acquires information, modifies the information, displays the information, or it transfers the information from one place to another. Okay, these are the roles delivered by software. These are the roles of a software. So it acts as a vehicle for delivering a product. Once again, the IT industry, what it is delivering is a product which is the software. Once again, to deliver this software product, the industries are going to use softwares. Okay, for that purpose also software is used. So it's software, it supports or it directly provides system functionality. Okay, it controls other programs. Example, operating system, it controls the operation of the system. It allows you to open the Word document or a PowerPoint document, save it, delete it. Okay, it support, or it allows you to install some other software. Okay, yes, it controls, affects the communications. So you need networking software which allows you to connect with Wi-Fi, which allows you to connect with Wi-Fi and allows you to browse the internet. Okay, and it helps build other softwares. So also, as I already told you, it is used as a medium to build other softwares. So these are the uses of software or roles of a software. So in other words, software, it is a set of items or objects that form a configuration that includes programs, documents, and data. I already told you what are the different documents that are considered as part of the software. It is the user manual, design specifications, all the things are decently told as documents here. So in short, it is a combination of program that you write, that is the coding part, the documentation, and the data. Everything together, put together, is the software. Okay. So there are various software applications. Okay. So based on the utility or where it is used, the software is classified into different types. The basic type is generic and custom. Okay, these two together provide various applications, various users. So we'll see what are the various uses of these softwares. System software. The system software example is your operating systems, okay, which allow you to control various operations. Application software, this one, as I've already told you, it is a one that is developed for a particular user usage or organization usage. Engineering or scientific softwares, these are the ones which are used for designing. For example, mechanical engineers, they use softwares for designing, the CAD designing you would have heard. Okay, they'll be designing like how the machine should function and how the machine should be designed and how it should be integrated, all those. Okay, and embedded software, as I already told you, IoT related things, Internet of Things, or how you remotely manage certain devices using software. So you use embedded software, the one in your remote control, the one in your ovens, okay, all these. And product line softwares, these are the softwares which, example, I told you, TCS Ion is the one which is for education institutions, and it is being change according to the requirement of the particular educational institution. So it is a product line where it concentrates on various educational softwares and web apps. So these softwares are the ones which take care of the development of web applications like website development, animation, all these. So there are different types of softwares, and the softwares that are developed are used in different areas. So this is software different applications. I'll just give you in-depth view of these different softwares. Is the screen visible to everyone? Yes. So software. As I already told you, computer software is just a software. It is a collection of computer programs, related data that provides the instructions for telling a computer like what it has to do and how it has to do. Okay. So this software, it has commonly most basic form, it can be classified as system software, programming software, and application software. So I gave you some uses, right? It is once again grouped into system, programming, and application software. Okay, so based on the uses of the softwares, we are classified as system, programming, and application. You should not confuse yourself. Software product is of two types, generic and custom. Okay, and the software has got various applications or various roles and uses. Based on their usage, it is classified into different types. That is the system software, programming software, and application software. Hope this is clear. Yes, is this point clear? Well, because you should not get confused like what ma'am is telling custom generic and again system software programming software. No, in there are two types of software products, generic and custom. Based on the users, it is classified into different types. That is this type of classification: system software, programming software, and application software. So the system software could be a generic one as well as a custom one. Similarly, the programming software can also be a generic one and a custom one. Okay. So once again, this application software can be either a generic or custom, can be out of the two types, but based on the usage, they are classified like this. So, what is the system software? This system software, it is a computer software that is designed to operate the various hardware components of a computer, and its basic functionality is to provide a platform for running the application software. So this provides a platform. Okay, it is designed to operate the computer hardware. Only because of the operating system is there, you are able to shut down. The shutdown command you are able to select and you are able to shut down your system. So it is the instruction. So it also provides a platform for running application software. So if you are writing your Java program, you will use things, you will be using JDK kit, right? Where is this JDK kit placed? It is open and installed with the help of your operating system. So the system software refers to the operating system, and all the utility programs, not only the OS, other utility programs that manage the computer resources at a low level. Okay, so this is one type of software. Okay, your Microsoft Windows and your Red Hat Linux, all these are different brands of operating systems. Yes, so the system software, it is the basic input output system, gets the computer system started after you turn it on. So, and it manages the data flow between the operating system and also the various attached devices in your system, such as the hard disk, the keyboard, video adapter, if any, the mouse, printer, etc. So when you give the print command, the printer is printing your content in the paper. How is it doing? This because the operating system is giving instruction to the printer. Okay, so this is the system software. The boot program loads the operating system into the computer's main memory. Okay, and these are the uses of system softwares. Okay, these in depth, it is not necessary for you. Okay, so the system software, the BIOS, basic input output, after you just open your system. Okay, all these are softwares, system softwares. Example for system software, like how you run your scan your disk, and you partition your drive space, hard drive space, right? Those activities are performed by the system software. Okay. So all these are the activities of system software. Then comes the programming software. So this programming software, it includes various tools in the form of programs. So it includes the tools. The tools used are here programs or applications which the software developers use as a base to create, debug, and maintain other programs and applications. So this term, it refers to simple programs such as compilers, debuggers, interpreters, and other text editors. So when you run your C++ program, it is compiled and interpreted. how it is compiled and interpreted. There is a software, compiler software, interpreter software, and text editors. These are all softwares. These are considered as programming softwares. Okay, these are the tools which support creation of other softwares. Okay, this is your programming software. So the example of your programming languages are C, C++, Java, HTML, PHP. So all these programming languages, using these programming languages, you can create a software. Okay, so you can create a software, you can write compilers, debuggers, interpreters, and you can create text editors using these programming softwares. Okay, so these are the regular programming languages which acts as programming softwares. Application software. So this application software, it is a program or a group of programs designed for the end users. It allows the end users to accomplish one or more specific computer or non-computer related task. So automation of a library management system, or automation of a hospital system, hospital management system. Okay. All these, or railway reservation system. All these are application softwares which are for a specific purpose, like for ticket booking, for library book renewal, other details, or managing the patient details in a hospital. Okay, all these form application softwares. So system software, programming software, and application software. So some examples of computer application software include database management system, your word processors, PPT presentation software, and web browser also. They are also application softwares. Okay, this is for your information. So word processors, it is a software program which is capable of creating, storing, and printing documents. So unlike the typewriter, users are using various word processors to create a document and make changes anywhere in the document. So this document is saved and it can be modified later anytime, and also it can be opened on any other computer other than the specific computer in which it was created. Okay. Next, the basic word processor, it provides the following features like inserting the text, delete text, cut, copy, paste. Okay, the regular text editor, it allows the following activities. Okay, all these slides I'll just send for your reference, spreadsheet and all.
Rashmi
Similarly,
says,
the spreadsheets
invitation,
where they provide
CAC
features like
2109 PJ
charts,
Lab, session 1 at Friday,
functions,
July
and
17th,
formulas,
2020.
cell merging, cell formatting, your Excel spreadsheets. Okay, all these are examples of the softwares that we use. Okay, so the Microsoft Excel example of spreadsheet. It is your Microsoft Excel, Lotus 123, Apple numbers, Open Office. These are all examples of some spreadsheets. So this is all for your knowledge. Presentation software. So these presentation softwares, it is a program that helps you to create the slideshows. So your PowerPoint presentation programs. Once again, it is a software that is designed for presentations, used for business presentation and educational presentations, etc. So it includes various functions like editor to add text and format it and manipulate it, and to display the content in a slideshow system. So this presentation software, it is also an example of application software. Okay, your spreadsheets, text editors, presentation softwares. Okay, all these are examples of your application programs. Okay. So some features provided by presentation software. You can add a new slide, insert the slide, you can create a slide, delete the slide, and you can do all cut, copy, paste, and also animations or sound manipulations which you do in your slide. So all these features are available only because it itself is a software. PowerPoint itself is a software. Okay. Any doubt in this? Am I going fast, ma? Hello.
No, ma'am.
Okay, because these are all only examples. That is why I'm just moving the slide. Okay. So presentation softwares, it provides all these features. This is also an example of application software. So Microsoft, what are the presentation softwares that are available is by the Microsoft, it is PowerPoint. By Adobe, you have Persuasion, you have HyperCard, OpenOffice, Impress, and Scala Multimedia. These are all the different presentation softwares. Okay. You commonly use Microsoft because everyone has this Microsoft Office, and because of that, we use this Microsoft. But there are other presentation softwares. Okay. And database management system software. Once again, it is you are all learning DBMS in this semester, right? So this DBMS is also an application software because it itself it is a program that controls the various organization, the storage management, and retrieval of data in a database. So the users can create tables, queries, forms, and reports. All these are supported by this DBMS software, right? This acts as an interface between the user and the database, right? The database management system itself is a software. Okay. This is also an application software. So once again, you have various DBMS softwares like Access. Okay, all these are some examples of DBMS software. So desktop publishing softwares, they are used to produce printed documents like magazines and greeting cards, and where you can set different typefaces, various margins, justifications. Okay, formatting. Which is especially for printing and publishing, the formatting software. Okay. Desktop publishing softwares. So it is your examples for such softwares are your Adobe InDesign or MS Police. So these are some of the desktop published software actually for writing, use writing. And next is web already click software is web application. Okay, web applications, the web browser itself, it is a software. You're all browsing, right? You open your browsers and you type the address and you browse. Can you give me an example for a browser? Okay. Your Chrome, Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, Opera, all these are some of the browsers. So only when you open this browser, when you click on this particular Chrome icon or IE icon, a window will open, and in the window you type your addresses like www.yahoo.com or google.co.in, something like that, and you browse, you fetch information. This used to locate and display the web pages. Its role is the software, the web browser itself is a software. Its role is to fetch the details from the address entered by you and display it in the web page for you to view the contents. So the web browser itself is a software. Okay. So you know, a lot of browsers. And one more type of application software that you have is graphics software or image editing softwares. So these they are programs that allow a person to manipulate various visual images on a computer. So graphics manipulations, okay, it can be classified into raster graphics and vector graphics. So it is enough if you know that there are two types of graphics softwares. That will be enough. You need not go in depth for raster graphic editors and all. I just wanted to show you the different types of softwares. That is why I'm uh, going to these slides. Okay, this in depth and all, it is not necessary for your exam point of view. It is not required for your exam point of view. So, and also you have accounting software. So accounting software is another application software where you can record and process various accounting transactions within functional modules. You would have heard this tally software and other things, right? So once again, it is an application software. Example of application software, and it has got various functional modules where the account receivable, payroll details, all these are manipulated and stored. So it actually acts as a complete accounting information system. Okay. So accounting software is another type of application software. So bookkeeping, purchase order, all those things you can have. So you have Microsoft Money, USB, Sage, MyOB. Okay, these are some examples of accounting softwares. So what are the different application softwares we have seen? Can someone recollect it? Recollect all the application softwares that we have seen? Yes. Can anyone recollect what are the application softwares? No one. You want me to repeat? Hello. Can anyone recollect all the application softwares? What are the application softwares we have seen? First, we have seen system software. Yes, system software example is operating system. Then programming softwares. Programming softwares, they help us to develop other programs, and examples are your regular C, C++, Java, PHP. All these are examples of programming languages. And third one which we saw is application software. So the application softwares, what are the various application softwares? They are the text editors are examples of application software. So text editor, one known example is Microsoft Office. Then text editor, after text editor you have presentation software. Example is PPT. Okay, presentation software is PPT. Then you have spreadsheets. Okay, example is Microsoft Excel. So Microsoft Excel, what you can do, you can add various details, you can form tables. Okay, yes, Microsoft, that is another one, spreadsheets. Okay. And next, what another software? DBMS itself, it is a software. This is the fourth application software which I told you. Desktop publishing, it is for printing, where you concentrate more on text editing, like margins, justifying those things, right? Next, it is to store all the account details, account transactions, to maintain a ledger, all those things. Next, After this accounting software, what is that? Accounting software. After the accounting software, we saw graphic software. It various graphic and one software. This software, this browser software, it allows it whatever as web address you type, it fetches the data that is present in the particular web address and it displays it on the screen. For example, when you give Amazon, when you get into Amazon, www.amazon.co.in, when you click on that, the Amazon's homepage is displayed to you. How it is displayed to you? Because the browser fetches the homepage of Amazon from the server and it displays it on the browser for you to view. So these are the different application softwares. Okay. So we go back to the next topic, software. Is the blue color screen visible, ma? PPT?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Wait, I'll check. Is the title software myth visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So next topic in your syllabus is software myth. Okay. So there are various myths about the softwares. They are the softwares affect the managers, customers, and practitioners. Okay, and they are believable because they often have elements of truth and they lead to bad decisions because of they just believe. And also they insist on reality as you navigate through various software engineering methods. Okay, I'll just explain it. So we say that the people working for the software are affected. What is the myth behind that? There's nothing but if the software developers get behind the schedule, then we can add more programmers and catch up. Okay, that is a general statement about objectives is sufficient to begin building programs. Okay, like and also change in project requirements can be easily accommodated because the software is flexible. So these are some of the common myths. What it says is that if they are not able to complete the project on time, if they feel that they are going slow, in that case, in between they can add more people in their project and they can meet the schedule. So in between they can add more people. Okay, and if they are just clear with the objective, like for what they are developing the software, okay, if they are clear with the objective, with that start their work with the software development. They think like that, but no, they should have the various hardware software requirements, people, strength, okay, and all these are required for continuing the software process development. And also a change in project requirement can be easily accommodated because the software is flexible. So when a software is developed and in between the actual user who has ordered for the software asks you to add some more feature in that, they think that it is easy to add the new feature into the software. No, it is not the same in all cases. Only in certain cases, if a new thing is to be added, in between it can be done. Otherwise, they have to restart from the beginning. From the first stage, they should start developing and they should incorporate the feature. Not all projects have the capability to add new feature in between. So people generally think that all these things can be easily done. Okay, but it is not so. So these are called software myths. So once we write a working program, we think that it is done. But until we get the program running, we have no surety about the quality of the software. So they cannot think that if they have start writing the code, then their work is over. No. The whatever code they have written, okay, it should run and execute. On execution should give proper answer, proper output, like the one which is actually required. So if you write a program code for addition of two numbers and when you give the input values, it should give only the added result. It should not give the subtraction of the numbers, subtracted answer of the numbers, right? So that is the quality. Okay, these are all some general software myths. Maybe this type of question you will get in your 2 marks, like state any software myth, like that. Okay, it will be used for that. So management myth. So there are already a set of standards and procedures for building software, and it does provide my people with everything they need to know. It is not that the documentation which has got various procedures, models and standards is enough for the people who are working in the project to proceed with their project. Also their experience matters. Okay, so but it is a general management myth that if all the documents are handed over to a new person who is joining the project, okay, will learn everything. No, just with the book, not everything cannot be learned. Practical knowledge is required. That is what they say. So, and customer myth. Here, customer is the person who actually buys the software, right? So, a general statement of objective is that it is sufficient to begin writing programs once we know the objective. So, the project requirements continually change, but this change can easily be accommodated because the software is flexible. The customers think even at the end or after the product development is begun, Okay, and it takes 6 months to develop the particular software product. And in the end of the fourth month, if they go and say that I want this particular feature, I want one more user interface, I want two more buttons, where each button should fetch this function or fetch this type of data, like this, the customers will think what this programmer, what his job is. Whenever we say something, he has to write the code. This is how the customers think, but it is not possible. All the projects they cannot do. So this is the customer myth. So we have software myth, management myth, and customer myths. So these are the common myths which do software development. And practitioner myth. Okay, here they think that the programmers or the practitioner who develop, they think that let's start coding because we the program and get it to work, our job is done. No, the quality they should take care of, and also only deliverable work product for a successful project is the working program. So after installation of the software, okay, in the user's place, is everything okay? Until then, it is not over. Okay, their work does not get over. It's just writing the code. Okay, their work is giving modifications and doing rectification even after the product is installed in the user's place. So these are the different myths. So coming back to this software process, it is a structured set of activity required to develop a software system. So it involves specification, design, validation, and evolution. So the software process model, which I told you, it is an abstract representation of the processes. It provides a description of each of the process from some particular perspective. I already told you the different perspectives. Yes, based on the role, based on the workflow, and based on the data flow. So these are the perspectives based on which descriptions are given, and this is an abstract representation for the software process. Okay. So the generic software process models are the waterfall model, the evolutionary development model, the formal systems development model, and reuse-based development. So these are the names for different models. So the waterfall model, it has got separate distinct individual phases of, that is phases here, it refers to individual stage of the processes like specification and development. You'll be learning what is specification in the second unit. The entire unit is about specification. Okay, and next one is evolutionary development. So this specification and development processes are interdependent on one another. And formal systems development. Here, this model, it is a mathematical system model which is formally transformed into an implementation. Okay, and next you have something known as reuse-based development. Here, the system is assembled from existing components. As I already told you, there are different types of softwares. Softwares in the sense, new softwares which are created, and some softwares are reused. That is, the modification is done to the existing software, right? So whichever project uses which reuses or does some modification to existing, and they give other products, they are called as they are following reuse-based development model. So there is a model for such projects where they are going to reuse existing software. So they have to follow certain steps. So that is mentioned in reuse-based development model. So these are the different models. So we saw what is a software process model, what are the perspectives based on which these software process models are created, and what are the 4 types of software process models available. And all the software process activities depend on these models. That is, they adapt any one of this model and they perform their activities. So exam எழுதுவாங்க, that is the activity. Okay, that is a compulsory activity. Taking up the exam is compulsory. And what is the model of exam is adopted by the particular university. Okay, Crescent, it gives Cat 1 exam, Cat 2 exam, and end semester. And for Cat 1 and Cat 2, you have test, written test, as well as assignment. Yes, it is like this. Whereas in some other consider SRM, they will have one Cat 1, and instead of Cat 2, maybe they'll be having project and then end semester. So that is adapting one model for mark. So that is the thing. So this is how the waterfall model is adopted for all the activities of the software process development. Or some companies, they adopt evolutionary development model. So if a Cat 1 exam, we use part A, part B, part C for 50 marks. That is one model. Okay. For end semester exam, you write for 100 marks. So there, the part A questions, there are 10 questions. But in CAT, there are only 5 questions. So that is the model which they follow for CAT and end semester. So இப்படியும் ஒரு மாடல் இருக்கு, அப்படியும் ஒரு 100 மார்க்ஸ்க்கும் ஒரு மாடல் இருக்கு. ஆனா நீங்க எப்போ அதை யூஸ் பண்ண போறீங்கன்றது டிஃபரெண்ட். Yes, so this is how they are going to determine which model they are going to use for their activity. Okay, this is how they proceed with. So this is the diagrammatic representation for waterfall model. So these are the different stages in the model. So I want to make one thing clear. In the software development, in the entire stage of software development, there are 4 activities. Okay, and all these activities adopt or act based on any of the models like waterfall model, evolutionary, and other 2 models. Okay, so they will adopt any of these models and perform all their activities. Now, when they adopt the model, each model again has got a set of activities. Okay, this point you should be clear with. Okay, in general, all software development have 4 stages, 4 activities. Okay, and all these software development people adopt one model for doing these 4 activities. When they adopt a model, the model again has a list of activities and processes. This thing, this area you should be clear with. Any doubt in this? Any doubt in this? Is this point clear, ma? Difference between software process and software model. Yes, I need some answer. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Or why this software process model? I get feedback only from Malini, not from others. Where are the others? Okay. Yes, no, I don't want one model. Is it common model or particular application setup? Okay. So waterfall model. Okay, I'll tell you. Waterfall model, it is a separate model. Okay, it is available. If you want to follow that, you can take and follow it. Or you don't like it, you want the reuse model, you can adopt reuse model. It is up to you. Okay. See, there are certain models. Okay, a waterfall model has got a style. Reuse model has got a different style. Okay, but a model has to be followed by the software company. Infosys is developing a product means it has the 4 basic software process steps. Okay, that is requirement, development, okay, all those evolution, all those 4 steps they have to do. And for taking care of these 4 basic software processes, they should follow one model. That model could be waterfall, or it could be reuse, or it could be evolutionary, whatever. Okay, but they should follow one model to perform these 4 processes, and each model has got its own style. Okay, its own style is own sequence of processes within that. So this is the phase for waterfall model. So this is a general diagrammatic representation for waterfall model. It has requirements definition, system and software design, implementation and unit testing, integration and system testing, and finally operation and maintenance. So requirement definition. What happens in requirements definition? If a software is to be created, first you should know for what purpose the software is to be created. Who is the user of the software? Okay, and who is the user of the software, for what purpose it is developed, and what are the features that should be present in the software. Okay, these are the basic requirements which need to be known. Only if we know what we are going to develop and what is going to be present in the software that we are going to develop, and who is going to use the software which we are going to develop, we can proceed with software development. So not only the need, the type of user and the features in the software, you should also know like what is the technology used to develop the software, what is the budget required for proceeding with the software who are going to work in this software development. Okay, all these details need to be studied. So this is one stage in project development. Okay, so and then it is after all the requirements are analyzed, what is required and what has to be done is analyzed, a design will be, a prototype, a model design will be created. Okay, like how the function should appear, what should be the input, how many inputs should be there, what should be the data type of the input. Okay, what should be the output, how should the output look like, whether it should be a report in the form of tables, or report in the form of graph. Okay, so all these are determined in the design. So when a software is developed, it's not taking a program and running the history. Okay, taking care of these details. So the design is identifying variables, how the output, whether there is a possible or form or it need to be, okay, how many modules, okay, how many are going to appear on the screen, okay, how many buttons, how many checkbox options, okay, all this, whether how many or animation, the output, okay, all these are defined in the designing stage. And then the implementation stage is where coding is done. So only in this stage coding is done. After the coding, the stage this is all grammar. Okay, they are solved by the programmer team again. And after the passes the test, team. That is team
Ma'am,
finds
your voice is breaking,
the
ma'am.
zero error in the program. Programmer will be